Welcome to our world. Won't you come on in? Waiting just for you. Welcome to our world.
There's be more outtakes.
Are you recording now? Okay, whatever.
We'll never know.
Just make sure you're not. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Welcome.
Okay, anyway. Hello. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. We hope you all had a lovely Mother's Day over the weekend. For those who celebrate, for those who don't, such as myself.
Everyone has a mother.
Well, not me, so that was
that's
really
not
rude.
true. That's
I
not
had
true.
a mother.
Well, the point
Speaking of, we would like to dedicate this episode to the woman herself, Mary Beth. God bless her, wherever she is. Just kidding, obviously. Okay, anyway. So today's super exciting.
And happy Mother's Day to everyone, especially Kaylin, about to be a mother.
Fine, Caitlin. Yes, happy Mother's Day to Caitlin, too. I bet you're wondering who that voice was. Thanks for asking. It was...
Jim has a cold.
No. If he did, we would have heard about it already.
True,
So
yeah.
today, we have our first guest on the podcast. Applause, applause. No, okay.
Do we have a laugh track? Not a laugh track, an applause track.
No, you asked me that already. And that guest is Eric. Welcome, Eric, to the podcast.
Thank you.
Arguably our biggest fan. Are you... Maybe not.
No, I don't think it's arguable.
Okay. Are you excited to be here?
I'm very excited.
All right. Would you like to tell the people what our topic is today?
Our topic is having to do with Disney World. We are going to discuss our favorite rides at each of the 4 Disney World parks, as well as our single least favorite ride, or a ride that we take issue with from each park. And we're also going to rank the parks at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
And after we each share our favorites.
Okay, you don't have to give it all away in the beginning.
All
It's
right.
too much.
Okay.
There needs to be some suspense.
It's my
here
first
at the
time.
end.
Yeah.
I don't think I said,
Yeah.
This is my brother, by the way, Eric.
Yep.
That's why he's here. Okay, so who would like to begin? Would you like me to start, or do you want to start, Eric? You should start.
I think
since you're
Dad was the
guest.
most organized when he put his list.
No.
Okay, I'll
I
start.
will just comment.
Yeah, for those listening, our dad literally starts the list, and he gave up halfway through because we still don't really
I
know
could
why
not
he gave
find
up.
I wanted a simple Excel spreadsheet listing all the rides for each of the parks so that I could put it into a table,
Okay.
then rank them without having to retype. It's like, I'm all about efficiency.
Paper and pen.
No.
What's
Well,
the issue?
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
I will
you would
start.
just don't
So let's
have,
start. We're going to start with Magic Kingdom. Eric, give us your
Yes.
top 3 rides at Magic Kingdom. And this is for those maybe who are not aware. We're just doing Walt Disney World, located in Orlando, Florida. That's what this is. So this is going to be Magic Kingdom, the 4 main parks: Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Eric,
Okay.
starting with Magic Kingdom, your top 3 rides and
Okay.
maybe why. Attractions. It could be shows too.
And I'll go 3, 2, 1 to kind of build it up.
Okay, I'm not going to do that, but you do that.
All right. In third place, I put Pirates.
Okay.
Classic ride. I love the atmosphere, the music. I like the indoor rides, the water.
By pirates, you mean?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Thank
Pirates
you.
of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want to say too much about each ride, but Space Mountain, I put second.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might be like a little bit of a controversial pick, but I just always have so much fun on that ride.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think it's really fun. And it's another one where like the queue, I think it's fun being in there and like just the theming or the styling, especially like going back to say like the 90s or early 2000s. Like, I don't know, it kind of felt fun. My number 1, I put Carousel of Progress.
I was wondering if you were going to put that.
We'll have to talk
okay.
about it when we talk about our consensus top. But like, if I can only pick one, I really think I would pick Carousel of Progress.
I think I have my 3 already, but you
Oh,
go.
okay. Well, go ahead. You have your 3.
Okay.
Those are decent. I don't
Right.
on the surface have an issue with any of those.
I think, and this is kind of rough, but I think number 1, this is really rough though. I'm still thinking.
You just said you had your 3.
Well, I thought I did, but then I
You can say them in any order. You don't have to
Well,
build
here,
it up
I'm
like
gonna
Eric
put it this
did.
way. Okay. Here are the ones that I would be thinking of.
Okay.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Not because I especially love the ride the way they rethemed it. It's not terrible. It's not wonderful. It's like not bad.
It's pretty bad.
I liked Splash Mountain
That doesn't exist anymore.
better. I know. But since it's basically the same ride, it's just the theming is different. I still like it as a water ride.
Like the track itself.
Yeah, I still like it as a water ride. So that's that one I'm kind of like, thinking.
I want to mention quickly, just since you just said that, I have not been on Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Okay.
Splash Mountain would have probably been third on my list.
Okay, so it would have been
okay. But so I left that out because it's we're not doing ones that we haven't been on or
just
whatever.
Ones that we haven't been on or older attractions. We're just doing the current the current lineup.
There's nothing wrong with commenting on the older attractions, but we can't include those.
Okay, so Tiana's
so the other here's the other ones that I'm thinking would be on my list. One of them was definitely Carousel of Progress, and I was thinking that you guys were going to laugh, but I just think it's a classic ride. It's an original, and it's just the concept at the time was neat, and I just think it's kind of cool. Now, without getting into too much detail, the current iteration of it, when they get up to the last
it's outdated.
It's kind of outdated now, which is amazing how quickly things are outdated, but
doesn't get any better than that.
yeah. But the other one that I kind of have to
wait to see what they come up with.
Yeah, there are actually two others that I have.
You get one.
I know, but I'm just going to mention the two.
No,
I'm mentioning the two, and then we'll figure out which one gets dropped off the list.
This is why you should have made
one,
like
and this is sort of for sentimental reasons too. Is It's a Small World, right?
Sure.
Because it's another one that was an original ride. It was at the original World's Fair in 1962, I think. And it was your mother's favorite ride, right? Mm-hmm. So this is, in memory of her or whatever.
But is it your favorite ride?
I still like it. I do. I still like it. I think it's cool. I just think it's neat. Now, actually, I have two other rides in addition to that.
No, you don't get that. We're done.
I'm just quickly going to mention them.
No, because you were the one that was worried this was going to be a long episode, and here you are.
I'm not going to go.
Half the rides
I'm.
Okay, my point.
Wait, no, you get some. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
My point in this is if you can walk into Magic Kingdom, you can only do 3 things for the day. You're telling me those are the 3. You're going to go on Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
One of them would be Dole Whip.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dole Whip ride. No, because the one that you guys didn't even mention yet is Haunted Mansion.
I haven't said anything.
And I'm saying
I intentionally didn't say it. It's not.
And
in my
here's the
top
thing:
3 or 4.
I feel like Haunted Mansion has to be on my list somewhere. Okay,
you didn't make the list. You should have made a list.
I should have. This is why I didn't make a list. Okay, so Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World. Carousel of Progress.
All right.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure. How many is that?
That's 4. We're
Wait,
done.
there was a 5th one.
Tough. All right. Moving on to my 3. These are in no particular order. This is going to be controversial. Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Oh, I like that one too.
I love Mickey's PhilharMagic.
It's good.
I think it's so well done. They have. I don't know that I've seen the updated version, but they have added like newer movies and stuff to it too.
Coco's in there.
It's just like such a fun little journey. You have Donald, the main character, and he doesn't get a lot of love. But
no, to me, I was thinking the same thing, but I don't like the way they list them all as attractions. Like to me, it's kind of rides versus shows.
Well,
and
I think we chose to be both.
I know, and by they I mean you.
Well,
because it's a show. It's one of the best shows, and it's
but Magic Kingdom doesn't really have other quote unquote shows,
right?
So if we would do a shows one,
right,
like that wouldn't even work.
Okay, so anyway, we'll keep. Okay, so that's on.
Yeah, I at least considered that.
Yeah,
like it's definitely not in my top 3,
but this is like I just said to you. This is what I'm thinking. If I can go to Magic Kingdom and only ride 3 things, which for reference, that's what I used to do when I worked at the Grand. I would go to Magic Kingdom before work because it was on the monorail line, and I would watch Mickey's PhilharMagic like every time. So I'm like being very true to
No, that was one I definitely. That's a good attraction.
Okay, my second one is Peter Pan's Flight.
Yep. That's
Okay.
Maria's favorite, for the record.
Genuinely, my only complaint about that whole thing is just it always has like an obscenely long wait. But the queue, once they updated it, the queue is so cool once you get into like their room and all that stuff. And then obviously the ride itself, you're like flying over London and all that. I think it's
Right.
very well done.
For one of the like dark ride, kiddie rides or whatever, to me that's the coolest one. Just
Yeah, I
because of
agree.
the concept of you are like flying and stuff, you know.
I agree.
Yeah, it's actually creative.
Yeah.
It's like some of
It's
the
different.
some of the rides, newer rides don't seem like they're very creative, like the whole Imagineering thing.
Well, yeah.
But that one was still good.
I
Same
feel-
with Mickey's PhilharMagic, right?
Yeah. Well, now that you said that, because I was going to say, I feel like a lot of rides at Disney World and at Universal and other parks are all screen-based now. And so it's like you have...
Like Mickey's
Not Mickey's,
PhilharMagic.
that's a show.
No,
That's
yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm talking
I
about
know.
The
like
rides.
if they tried to make a ride like Peter Pan now, they
Yeah.
would use a ton of screens, and it
Right.
would be really cool. But it's
Right.
cool that they did it without screens, and it's
Right.
still really awesome.
Well, and
Yep.
one of the things I love about it too is like not only that you're like flying in this boat, but you're looking down and like
Yeah.
it's like you see London, you see the mermaids
Yeah.
in the lagoon,
And
like,
the whole
just the way
forced
they did that.
perspective sort of thing.
Yeah.
where it
Yeah,
you
looks
see the
like-
cars like on
Right.
the streets.
Yeah,
And
like
like
in
the
the
other
Yes.
dark rides are cool, like they have cool aspects of them, but just it's so different the way that they did it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
right.
And my third one for Magic Kingdom is Pirates of the Caribbean.
All right.
I
so
love
we
Pirates
agree
of the
on
Caribbean.
that. Yeah.
The feeling you get.
I mean, I do too. It's not on my top list, but it was one. We were doing a top 6 or 7 list. It's definitely there.
I thought you were
Okay.
gonna say you don't really like Pirates of the Caribbean. You like
Yeah.
Pirates of the
The
Caribbean a little
There
better.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so then we'll go in reverse order right now. So I'm just gonna go in because we're also doing. You said this in the beginning. We're also doing our least
Yes.
favorite attraction, just one attraction
Yeah.
from each park. And mine,
Basically, yeah, like
Go
one
ahead.
that you want to just like hate on.
yeah,
I would say, like
I
for some
would love
reason.
to
Yeah.
hate on this. I would love to hate on the Swiss Family Treehouse.
Mhm.
I feel like it fits in well with the theming of Adventureland. I don't have an issue with it being there, in principle, but it's not even anything. It's literally you walk upstairs and you see like some stuff from their family album and stuff that goes with the story and all that, and that's neat. But with the kind of technology we have now, if they really wanted to keep that there, they could update that and have it be so cool, even if they just wanted to keep it as a walkthrough.
Mhm.
As is, it's horrendous. There's never a wait for it. And if there is, like during Christmas and stuff, when it's like a 20 or 25-minute wait to walk up there, I'm like, you guys are nuts. Obviously, you don't know what you're waiting for right now. This is so bad.
I think I only went through it once.
It's just boring.
It
Like there's
is, like,
nothing.
It doesn't feel Disney at all, too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just I don't know. But
It fits the theming of the land, so that's fine. But it's just
Yeah.
like there's no soul in it or like heart. It's just there to like
Yeah.
fill space, I feel.
and like entertain your kids for a little
Right.
bit maybe while you eat a Dole Whip or something,
Yeah,
like really over in
seriously.
Adventureland. But
It's
yeah,
dumb. All right, Dad,
I
what's your
thought
least
about
favorite?
that one. Yeah.
I'm scanning through, and I think this is definitely one of my least favorites. Is the Mad Tea
I
Party?
knew somebody
the
was going to
teacups,
say that. Yeah.
the teacups, because I hate rides that you just get dizzy on anyway. I've never been
Okay.
a fan of teacups,
So
and it's just your average teacup ride. It's like, bleh, here, you want to throw up? Go on the teacup ride. That's fun.
Yeah, I had seen that, and that was one of the ones that I was like, I never go on that because I don't like rides like that and all that. But the actual theming is
Yeah.
really good. I don't like those kinds of rides, but a lot of people do. That I'm just saying why I didn't put it on my list. I don't disagree
I
with
get
you.
it.
I never ride that because I don't like those rides.
Yeah, I get it. I don't like it.
All right,
Yeah. I get your point with that one. But yeah, like obviously I love Alice in Wonderland, and that's enough for me to be like, oh, that ride's fine. Like
Right.
I probably, if I'm just there, like I don't go on that. I would go on it with Maria because we'd have fun just spinning around laughing or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I also, really quick, my only other complaint with that, besides the fact that I don't actually ride it, is I don't like its placement
Mhm.
because it's like on the edge of Fantasyland, which makes sense. It's right next to Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
so you still have all that. But then it's also the bridge to Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
And that
it's a
just
little
feels so
awkward.
awkward. It's
Yeah.
like, I feel like there could have been something else there
We
that would have made
do,
more sense.
You do have like what, the Cheshire Cat Cafe or whatever it
Yeah,
is right there,
yeah.
which is like at least a little, it feels like they're trying to build something,
Right.
a little area there. But
All right. What's your
Uh,
least favorite? Oh, Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You didn't say your least favorite yet?
No.
Yeah, what's your least favorite?
The one that I wrote down for Magic Kingdom was Tomorrowland Speedway. Now, my issue with that was something that, and I don't know how long ago it was that I went on it for the first time. I had never been on it. Like, I don't know, just as a family or growing up or whatever, we never did it.
Right.
And like, I think, probably at one point, 5-7 years ago, I was like, okay, I want to go on every ride and, so that I can have these types of discussions and opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like a really long wait. And then you get on it and it goes so slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a dumb ride. It doesn't feel like Disney again. And I just remember thinking, even if I was a little kid, this ride would still suck. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
the other thing, you have the fumes from those
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have to be, you figure they pollute more. It's like a lawnmower, right? Which is
yeah,
the most
it's just
pollute, and it
like-
makes it smell bad and they're noisy.
I kind of disagree with the if you're a little kid thing, because obviously you can't drive a real car as a child.
Well,
and
I
so
know,
that's
but-
your
yeah.
big moment to drive the car.
Okay, but even like, think about Antique Alley or the antique
Right,
cars,
yeah.
right? In
I felt that
Knoebels.
way though.
No,
I was
I
so
liked-
excited to drive those.
And I still enjoy driving them to this day. This is my point.
You have to
like,
explain. You have to explain what Knoebels is, though. 'Cause
Knoebels
most people
is-
are not
is-
we
going
don't
to
have time for
know.
this.
the oldest free amusement park in the United States.
Free admission, yeah.
Free admission.
It's in
yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Free. It's not free.
Well, that's what I meant. Free
Yeah.
admission. Yeah.
And it's really good. They have wooden coasters.
Yeah.
They
It's just
have-
like a
It's-
classic
It's an awesome
amusement
classic.
park.
Yeah, classic.
And
amusement.
the antique cars is just like, it's slow, but like they're they look
Right.
like an old Model T or something.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know, something like that.
Right.
And you actually control, like, there's a track in the middle so that you can't get off the track, but you can still steer the car,
Right.
even as a kid.
Right.
And there's a gas pedal and a brake.
So you're actually driving.
And you kind of like, you drive, I think you drive under the Phoenix.
Yeah, you do
right?
a lot.
Like, you
Yeah.
kind of go around a little bit
Pretty
versus
long.
the Tomorrowland Speedway is more of like a speedway.
Right.
Like, you're just going around like a stupid race car track. You're not really going anywhere. It
Yeah.
goes slowly.
right.
I,
So
I
anyway,
definitely think
I
they
don't
could
want to
do-
talk too long
I
about
know.
a single ride.
We
They
gotta
could
get moving.
do
We gotta
some
move
kind
on.
of overhaul with that. Like, you think of even just the IP they have, like
Yeah,
cars that they
yeah.
could do cars
I mean,
or some.
Tomorrowland.
You know what I
don't
mean?
but
They
yeah.
could do something, or I'm sure there's something we're not thinking of that they could use. What?
Yeah.
One of the other awesome shows at Disney is the Frozen Holiday Surprise, but it's not. It's only during
Actually,
the holidays.
no. Okay, but
You're
here's
talking at Magic Kingdom?
here's an
Yeah.
honorary
That's-
mention for a show at Magic Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
Is Sunny
Sunny Eclipse.
Sunny Eclipse at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe.
Yeah, he's a must-see
That
attraction.
is the
Oh,
best
the
show.
performer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's
Like,
funny.
his jokes are great.
Yeah, yeah.
The
They are
songs
pretty
he
good.
sings are great. The
Yeah.
food there's pretty good. Like,
Yeah, and it's
that's
and
classic.
for Disney park standards, it's reasonably
Yeah.
priced.
All
And
right.
he just
Like, we
he's
gotta
so
move on.
consistent with the show that he puts on.
Yeah.
He's an audio
Yeah, you would
animatronic.
think,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We're moving on to Epcot. Dad, would you like to go first?
No, I can't go first.
Okay.
I mean, I
Eric, we'll
could,
start
but
with
I
you
have to.
again.
I'd have to think.
I'll go first.
Top 3.
Top 3. My third is the Mexican boat ride. Now with the 3
Valid.
amigos, the 3 caballeros, the 3
You know
amigos.
they're changing that, or they're in talks to change it to, I think, Coco. Isn't
Coco,
it?
yeah.
Right.
Which
But they've been talking about that for years.
here's
in
the
some
thing,
This is a
I
whole nother
liked
thing.
it better before the 3 caballeros.
That's what I was gonna say.
And I know that this is like a popular thing to debate or discuss. I preferred it before the 3 caballeros, but I still like the 3 caballeros. And the main thing that I like is the ride itself.
Yeah.
Mexico is so cool as soon as you walk
Yes.
in and you have
Yeah.
that night sky.
Yeah,
Just the way they have
Well,
that set up.
I was going to say what you just said, right? I like. I mean, a lot of the old Epcot, they're kind of ruining the theming, right?
Yeah,
The cool thing was Mexico. You got in there and you really felt like you were in Mexico. You felt
Yeah.
like you went on the boat ride. It was specifically about Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
And now they've tried to make everything about the characters, and it's sad. It'll make more sense for it to be Coco than the 3 caballeros,
we should
probably.
Well, either way,
Go
but
through and rank all the countries
That'd
at
be
some
fun
point.
too,
That would be
yeah.
really
Yeah.
fun because
But-
there's so many
Okay.
aspects of each country.
Well, let's do
Yeah.
that now.
no, I just want
Anyway.
to say on this note quick, it is funny because for the most part, like we were saying about the Swiss Family thing, I said about the Tomorrowland Speedway, most things, if they're in Disney World and they don't feel like Disney, it bugs me.
Right.
It's like, this could be at any amusement park.
But
But that's what I specifically liked about World
Yeah.
Showcase growing up,
Right.
was you really did feel like, and it used to be that at least the vast majority of the employees were actually from that country and everything.
Well, they still are. They still do like their cultural programs and stuff.
I don't think it's as many though, or at least it doesn't seem like
even
it,
if
but I don't know.
It's just
I don't know for sure. I'm just saying.
the theming isn't what it used to be. The thing was Epcot was different.
All right, we got to pick it up.
Epcot now is like every other.
That's great. We'll have an Epcot episode.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So my second is Living with the Land.
Sure.
I know that's not like a super exciting ride or anything, but I always enjoy that ride. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like just relaxing rides like that. I think they're nice. And it's always been there. I hope they don't get rid of it. You get to see a little behind the scenes. So I like that a lot.
Yep.
And my number one is Spaceship Earth.
Obviously.
Of
How
course.
could you not?
So I think we may be talking about Spaceship Earth when we get to the consensus top 5, maybe. So I won't say too much about it now. But that's always been my favorite ride in all of Disney World.
Yeah,
maybe not always, but yeah, for the longest time.
Right.
It's obviously a really cool ride. I think now my only issue with it is I wish that they would update the thing at the end.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing where
as,
it's like
Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, where it's like, you're talking about the future and progress and all that, and where are we? This is like 20 years
this 1980s video game.
It's cool that they have the thing where they take your picture and you get to choose, and then it's like the futuristic, like you're riding the, you have your
I know, but
your hover car and your,
But it's just like with all the information we actually have now, they could make it.
No, I know.
So we're talking about realistic things now.
Yeah,
and think about it. 10 years ago, what they were doing seemed outdated for that part.
Yeah.
And now with AI and the fact that
That's
they can literally take you and animate you and stuff, they could make that like so much better.
Yeah.
They could really make it amazing.
All right.
So those are my top 3.
Do you have your top 3? Or do you want me to go?
No, I want you to go. I have to go last.
Okay, my top 3.
Yeah.
Again, this is, I guess, in no order, but I'll read it from the bottom. My number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy. No, this is not Mission Breakout. Is that the other one? No, this is just Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the roller. You haven't been on this? You haven't been on this? Okay.
No.
It's really good. I don't know. The queue is really good. The ride itself is really good.
What is it?
It's a roller coaster.
Okay,
it's an indoor roller coaster. But the vehicles they turn with you, and so there are a lot of things where you're going around and there's something in the center and your vehicle. It's good. It's
cool.
good stuff.
So compare it just to get an idea, because like I haven't been on that yet either. Compare it to Space Mountain or Rock and Roller Coaster.
I mean, I feel like neither of those are really fair comparisons. Space Mountain's just a giant mess where you're just like going around corners a bunch. It's fun, obviously, but you're going around corners a bunch and all that. And Rock and Roller Coaster is just really fast. So
there's a coaster in Disneyland Paris or the one next to it. I don't. That's like another thing, kind of like California Adventure and Disneyland, where they're right next to each other. Crush Coaster, like with Crush from Nemo.
Yeah.
The car spins, but it's not. It's not the way that you're saying, where it intentionally spins towards something in the middle. It's just it's one
like
of those rides
around.
that Dad, you would get really sick.
I wouldn't like it because I was going to
those.
say. So the spinning you're talking about does not get you dizzy.
Yeah.
It's still. It's not like it's spinning as you're going, but I'm also not saying it has set moments where it's going. Like as you're going around a turn, like the gravity is pulling you towards the middle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like, when you do this turn, then you set. But it's really good, and it has like an actual story, which is nice, because I feel like a lot of roller coasters, you're just kind of.
And what's it called again?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
I don't actually know.
Okay,
what
but
the
it's Guardians of the
is.
Galaxy ride. Okay,
but at Epcot. So that's my number 3. My number 2 is Test Track, which right now is down for refurbishment, but it
feels like it's always down for refurbishment, and I can't even keep up with what version of it we're on. That's why, I don't know.
But supposedly they're going back to the original version. That's what this refurbishment is. They're going back to the original version. That's because a lot of people liked that one better than the one that's there.
Well, you noticed a lot of their refurbs or updates made rides worse.
Well, I just think it's cool because obviously the outside part is cool and you're going fast and you're like get to see Epcot from a view and all that. But I also like before that where you're going through the tests and going over the bumpy roads and the seatbelt checks and all. Like that's cool.
Fun. Yeah,
right.
So the Test Track is at 2, and the number 1 is Spaceship Earth, as we've discussed.
Nice.
Okay, my 3, and not necessarily in this order since we said it doesn't matter, but Spaceship Earth for sure has to be on there. I remember before you guys were born, the first time I went to Disney, going on that ride, and I was like, this is so cool. And again, I think it was better at that point. Just something about the ride seemed a little bit better. but it's amazing, right? The ending was different, number one. Like I said, I have to go back and look at a video because I'm sure there are videos on YouTube of the old version of it. What's the matter? What do you
No,
think?
I was just going to say, too, we should just mention also the cool aspect that it literally is inside the Epcot ball. Like,
Right.
what a
Yeah.
cool feature of this ride
Oh,
that, like, you see
yeah.
this as you're coming into the park.
And
And
you
literally
Yeah.
the whole ride
go.
is you going
Yeah.
in there. Like, it's just
Yeah.
wild.
And I
It
just
still
like-
blows my mind that that's actually what happens. Like,
Inside,
And
yeah.
you know, it's funny because, you know, I know a lot, like you just mentioned the Guardian of the Galaxy ride, which is a roller coaster. And it's not like I don't like roller coasters, but a lot of the rides I like the best are like Spaceship Earth,
me
where
too.
it's a slow speed ride. You feel like you're learning something. It's just cool. It's just
Yeah.
really cool the way they do it. And when you get to the very top of Spaceship Earth, the globe, the way it looks
Yeah.
like the stars and all, it's just neat.
Right.
Um,
And all the cars turn in and you kind of, I don't know.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just, I don't know,
That
it's
you're
just
all
a cool.
part of the
yeah,
It's very-
exactly. Yeah, really though.
yeah, when you talk about Imagineering,
Yeah.
it's really cool that
Well
they
done.
thought about this and then brought it to
Well, because
life.
even just as a small thing again, like with just thinking about this is all taking place inside here,
Yep.
think about the weight of everything that makes up this ride, all the animatronics and everything, the cars, all the people, like how many people are on this ride at a
At any
given
given
time?
time.
Hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And just like even the engineering that went involved or
Mhm.
that's involved or went into the support
Yeah.
of like this
because
like,
it's
how heavy is
continuous.
that
Because
thing?
it's continuous. It's not like you get to the point where there's no car.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
one goes to the last. You know what I mean?
I did
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
loop. It's a loop.
I got to do a backstage tour of that, and
Uh-huh.
it was really cool.
With the
We literally
lights on?
walked, yeah, we
Yeah.
literally walked all like the ride path.
That's funny. Does it kind of ruin it for you though when you see it
No.
with the lights on,
It
or does
didn't
it
ruin-
make you appreciate it that much more?
I feel like some rides it might ruin it for you, but that one I don't
Okay.
think it ruined it at all. Because I
That's
mean,
cool.
it's not
Okay.
even like it's super dark in there. Like
Right.
sometimes it's dark, but you can still see what's around you. But it
Right,
was
right.
really cool. Yeah.
I just think, you know, for a lot of these rides are cool anyway, but some of them the first time you go on them are like amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
Oh,
What else you got?
No,
so
no, just one final thing with Spaceship Earth, because yeah, you have to hand it to them. Like the architects of the ride, the engineers, the music, and we should thank the Phoenicians.
Okay.
yes.
They created them.
Great.
I know.
How many did you name? 2.
No, I only need one.
Oh.
Right?
I think that was
Spaceship
just
Earth.
one.
Spaceship
Oh my
Earth.
God. Well, we need
Spaceship
to
Earth.
hurry
I'm
up.
moving. I'm moving.
This is going to be
Really-
2
Okay.
episodes.
This
one
might
of
be
one of
3
my
episodes, I'm
three.
not gonna
One of
lie.
my 3 has to be the Frozen
Well,
ride.
it doesn't have to be, but
Okay.
yeah, okay.
It
I'm
is.
getting- Okay.
And honestly, just like with Mexico, when it was the Norway ride
I would
on the
have put the
same track,
Norway
Me too.
ride on
Easily.
I
my
know,
list.
Yes.
and I'll be the first one to admit I liked it better then.
Yeah.
It was like I said. This goes back to the whole thing that they've done at Epcot. We can talk about that on another episode. But yeah, I would probably say, and I like Test Track a lot, but sort of along the same lines of liking the slow speed stuff and all. I like the Mexico boat ride.
Yeah.
I just. And again, it comes down sort of the volcano when you walk in.
Mhm.
It's a cool place to eat
Mhm.
just because of
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So I would say, yeah, that's probably that would be my top 3.
Wait, wasn't that just 2?
No, Frozen. Spaceship
Frozen.
Earth, Frozen, Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, Mexico.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
all different. Okay. Okay.
And
My least favorite is the Guardians of the Galaxy because I've
'Cause you've
never
never
been
been
on
on
it.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, yeah, the Maelstrom would have made my top 3.
100%.
Yeah, just
And
yeah.
That would have made my top
The Frozen
5.
ride's fine. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The Frozen
Mhm.
ride's fine.
Mhm.
But the Maelstrom, we used to all love the Maelstrom. And
Yeah.
it really
Mhm.
did, like, the reason why we all have, like, this gravitation towards, like,
Mhm.
Norway
Mhm.
and just the idea of, like,
Mhm.
Norway as, like, an interesting place is basically
It's
because of that
because of
ride.
the
I
ride,
know.
yeah.
I
you
know. They need to
like,
make
you go
one
in
now.
and the polar bears were there.
Yeah, yeah.
And the troll back.
Yeah. I know. I know.
And you go
It was
down
just
backward.
wild.
Yeah.
And, like, when you're on the outside and you
You
could
can
see the
see-
boats popping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there was so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then you popped out into the Norway Theater
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the end of the ride. And even when you got off at that little dock, you felt like you were in some, like,
This
Yeah,
is
you're
this
in
is a
s-
Norway.
you know,
scene.
sea town in
and nobody
Norway.
wanted to watch the show.
no, yeah, everybody just walked right
That's
through.
what I was
but
having.
Yeah.
It
But
was that
no,
little
they
kid,
need
like,
to do
touching the
one-
side of the boat. And
Yeah,
when he made
yeah.
contact, it went like,
They
and it,
need
like,
to-
showed
yeah,
Norway.
yeah. They need to make one for Greenland now.
Okay.
Okay, I don't even know. All right.
Um,
Just Greenland.
so what's your least favorite? It can't be Guardians of the Galaxy. It has to be something you've
Oh,
experienced.
what was your least favorite?
I didn't say yet.
Oh,
Okay,
do you
I'll
want me to
start.
go
Well, no,
first?
you guys go
My
first, 'cause-
least favorite is Mission Space. I just can't do it. I think I haven't even done because they have a green and orange mission. And for those of you that don't know, Mission Space is what it sounds like. You get to simulate as though you're experiencing what happens when you go to space, like the astronauts and all that, like Katy Perry and all.
Yeah.
Just kidding. What a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. I think my main thing is that I don't like being in tight spaces like that. And when
Yeah.
you get on that ride, you are
Oh.
literally like your seat is right there.
Yeah.
And then the screen closes right in front of you. Like you can't move at all. You're stuck for whatever it is, 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And I don't like that. And I don't even think it was that cool. You're not even really like controlling anything. I just think it's dumb.
I think I was only on that twice. It's a long time since I've been on that. I think it was like 2 times I went on that. And I thought it was cool, right? So I liked it more than you did. What I didn't like was at the end of the ride, like the ride's really cool and you feel like you have the force. You really feel like you have the G's like pushing you back in the seat.
The G's.
Yeah. No, G forces. But then at the end, it's like, oh, you're having trouble landing. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, you didn't get sick. Here, we're going to make you sick at the very end. And there's no, it ruins the ride for me, you know?
Yeah,
but I do feel like the people that do ride that are more astronauts than Katy Perry.
Yeah,
I feel like
for
they
sure.
should be considered astronauts.
I completely agree, honestly.
You know?
Well,
okay.
I also put that as my
Yeah.
least favorite. And like, I don't hate it by any means, but I feel the same way you feel, Samantha. Like, I feel like I definitely only went on it one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just never need to go on that again. Like, I think I came off maybe feeling a little sick or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I was like, this just wasn't that fun or wasn't that good of a ride. And it could have made me sick.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine. I don't know.
That's not my least favorite, though.
What is it?
Because like I said, no, I'm trying to think. I'm not crazy about the Figment ride. The new
But it's
Figment
a
ride.
classic.
What do you mean?
But it's not. The original one was classic, right? So there's a better one.
It's a
You gotta go back
classic
and look.
for me.
But what about the Nemo ride?
I love the Nemo ride.
You love it?
Nemo's
You love
fine.
it?
Yeah.
What are the rides?
In
We're
this
missing something
big
because
There's only like 2 rides in Epcot, basically.
Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
I haven't been on
actually-
that.
I almost
well,
put
what
that
about
on
the?
here. That's not one of the worst. Have you been
No.
on that?
I
Oh.
wasn't going to say one of the worst. I was going to say I only went on the one in Paris. I haven't been
there's
on the one
that.
in Epcot. And that was,
What haven't I been on
however
these
long
rides
ago
yet?
Maria and I
like
got
that.
married 6 years
What,
ago.
what other rides do they have? Well, there's the walkthrough now. There's the Moana Journey of Water walkthrough, which is
And I
actually
haven't
pretty
seen
cool.
that either. I haven't seen that either. Is that
There's
the?
Soarin'.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Soarin',
yes.
Soarin' was the
Almost
one.
made my
Well,
list.
Soarin'
me
is a good
too.
one.
Soarin' would be my 4th.
What about where they had the dinosaur thing?
That's Animal Kingdom.
No, no, with Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen. Well, that's where
Oh,
Guardians
man.
is.
Yeah, that's where
So that's where
Guardians
Guardians is. Okay.
Ellen's would have
okay.
made my top.
Ellen's
Okay.
Energy
Well,
Adventure.
it's tough, but
Okay.
I would have put Ellen over. Ellen probably would have been my 2nd.
See,
Actually.
and the funny thing was, and
All right,
don't
we
get me wrong,
gotta-
I like that ride, but the original theming of that ride I like better too. It wasn't with like a famous person, I guess you would say, with a little talk show. It was actually more like I have to go back and look at it. I don't remember, but
I want the record to show
Go
that
ahead.
I suggest
Keep
that we just
moving.
do our top
I also
ride.
want the record
Okay.
to show that thing has Ellen DeGeneres, Jamie Lee Curtis,
right.
Alex
Alex
Trebek,
Trebek,
right.
Yep.
and Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you're saying they didn't put anybody famous.
No. I'm saying the original theming. I'm saying the
before
original
that?
before that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm
See, I
talking
don't
even
even
know what it
remember
was
that.
before
I don't
that.
even remember that. That was the time of the dinosaurs.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
basically.
You guys, no, you guys never saw it. You guys
Okay,
never saw
okay.
it.
I
Yeah.
thought you were
Alright.
saying before they moved it to Guardians of the
No,
Galaxy.
they didn't have like, oh, it's a little TV
Okay,
game show.
okay.
It was just
Great.
about the dinosaurs. It was cool.
We are moving on to Hollywood Studios.
Yes, we are.
Nice, nailed it.
Um,
Who's first? Whoever.
I'll go
Obviously
first.
Not
not
you,
me.
I'll go
obviously.
first. My number 3, I put Rock and Roller Coaster.
Sure.
Now, I'm personally excited to see the Muppets transition. I love the Aerosmith theming. I think, I like Aerosmith. I think it's fun going through, it was always fun seeing that. But how about backstage passes and all, like all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff? Like I
Yeah.
thought was cool.
Yeah.
hearing the music as you're on the ride and like feeling like you're on the LA freeway and
Yeah.
stuff, trying to
Oh,
get to the show or whatever.
I'm sorry I don't mean to cut you
It's
off, but
okay.
that just reminded me. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride, the other cool thing about that is it's the same thing. They have songs that they play, like
Oh,
that
yeah,
change every time. So
Well,
one of them's like September, Earth,
yeah.
Wind and Fire, like ones that are in the Guardians movies.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I actually wanted to say about that too. I didn't know if the Guardians ride in Epcot was the same as the one in California Adventure, because I have gone
It's
on
not.
that where
That's
it's
like
like
the Tower of
it's like
Terror.
Tower of Terror, but it
No.
does the same thing where it
It's
has the music and everything. That was a fun ride.
yeah.
But it was basically Tower of Terror, and I didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk
Okay.
about Tower of Terror in about 2 spots from now.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
go ahead.
So Rock and Roller Coaster is my third.
Number
My
2.
second, I put Beauty and the Beast.
Sure.
My favorite show, just a classic. I think it's really well done. The fact that they like basically squeezed the whole story into less than 15 minutes.
It's not 15 minutes. Like
It's pretty
No,
short.
I think
It's
it
not
might be
less
more
than
than
15
no,
15
I think it is. You look it
no,
up.
listen, I'm gonna look it up right now.
No,
I thought
I'm
it was
pretty
25.
positive.
Okay, well, she's looking it up.
At least 25.
Go on to your
No, I think it's
first.
like 13 minutes. I'm not even kidding. But
There's literally
go
no
ahead,
way.
look it up.
Okay, whatever.
Look it
Continue.
up. So yeah, I love that. And obviously that has some classic moments like, if we're going to do it, then let's do it. And
The Beauty and the
Blue.
Beast live on stage show at Disney's Hollywood Studios is approximately 25
13 minutes.
long.
Okay, whatever.
25.
Okay.
Don't lie to the people.
I don't know
we
what I'm
don't
talking
lie
about
on this
then.
show.
Okay, fine.
You're number
25
1.
minutes. My number 1 is Tower of Terror.
Obviously.
And it's not just because, like, I agree with Dad. Like, when the theming of a ride is, this is a roller coaster, it's like, okay, cool. Like, roller coasters are fun, or, you know, this type of ride is fun or whatever. But Tower of Terror, really, you come in, like, even the theming, as soon as you're waiting in line, as soon as you walk in, like, through that first gate, and they have the mist coming out, the music, it's very eerie.
Yeah.
You get in, you have the thing with the Twilight Zone on the TV, like, they shut all the lights off in there. And even the cast members, everybody always shouts out the cast members because of the job that they do to set that tone.
Yeah.
You really, no matter how many times I go on it, I still get like kind of goosebumps or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a
so I just love
backstage tour
that.
of that too. And that
Yeah,
was
that's
really
cool. I just love that, and also as a huge Twilight Zone fan,
Right.
Yeah.
like it's so cool that there's a ride that's like dedicated to that. So yeah.
Yeah, and the amazing thing,
Oh, we did. Okay.
their theming for the Twilight Zone is so good. Or not the theming. I mean, in general, yeah, the theming. But the guy that does Rod Serling
Mhm.
is so good,
Yeah.
right? Like
I didn't realize it wasn't him.
That's what I'm
somehow.
saying.
Like, yeah, I
He's
never
so
thought
good.
about it.
That's what I'm saying. Everything with that is just, it's so good. It fits the ride so much. And the ride itself is an awesome ride anyway, right? But you're right. There are other rides like that, but they're not in the Hollywood Tower, like in a hotel.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going up in an elevator.
So
It's
this
just,
is
that ride has everything.
this is on your list, obviously. On
That's
your
the
top
number
3.
one on my
And,
list. Most of these, I'm like, I'm not sure which one. That's number one on my list.
I also think it's cool how when you are at the top, how the doors open and you see out and people see you and then you drop and you're screaming.
Well, it's also cool how in that, however recent the update was, where it's totally random. You never know what you're going to get.
That's actually
that adds to it.
pretty controversial. People either love that or hate that.
Well, and I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but if you're in it kind of for the thrill and everything, it's cool when you're going up. You don't know if you're going all the way up, halfway up. You don't know if you're going to stop or just do that thing where you're just like bounce and fall right back down.
You
that's
never
what makes
know
it.
what you're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. No, I think that's what makes it awesome.
Another ride
that's what
for
makes
you.
the Frozen scene.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
That is not a top 3.
I
Hollywood
legit
Studios.
think no, but hey, you can say that, but every time, as long as, and that's been there for what, 10 years now?
I know what you're about to say. And
It's
not
always
fair.
crowded.
Because it's inside, and most of Hollywood Studios is outside.
No, people are not only going in there because they're thinking, I'm hot, I want to cool down. No, even during the
It's
cooler
also
months.
right at the front of the park.
It is.
Even
and you
during
can
the cooler
tell
months of the year.
based on the crowds. Because sometimes you get really good crowds that are singing along, laughing at the jokes. Sometimes it's dead in there. And you have like 2 groups of people that are actually into it.
Well, whatever.
Every time I've been there have been a lot of
Obviously,
singing. I couldn't
as
hear
a Frozen
over
fan,
my own singing. I couldn't hear everyone.
As a Frozen fan, you're going to
I'm like, yeah, that's yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Number 3.
It's so funny because Beauty and the Beast, and again, I have to think through, and it's sad, right? Beauty and the Beast is definitely up there. So maybe it's in my top 3. But here's the sad thing. the rides that would definitely be in my top. Well, first of all, are we saying none of the Star Wars?
No,
I haven't gone yet, so
Okay,
because
I'm gonna go.
Star
in a
Tours
second.
makes you sick.
okay.
So that's the only hang
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's a really cool ride. But the motion sickness on that
Okay.
messes it up for me. And the new stuff is all sequels. The sequels suck.
Yeah.
Like Rise of the Resistance is a really cool ride. And if it wasn't just stupid sequel stuff, I would love it.
That's because I was
And
gonna
I'm
say.
not just being bitter about it, being like, well, it is the coolest ride, but because it is a really cool ride.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Rise of the Resistance is a good ride. If you're
It
just
is.
talking just
It is.
rides.
Okay,
But
is that your top
it
three?
just bugs me.
What's your other one?
No, my only other disappointment is because in my top three would be the tour. The what was it called? It's shut down now, of course. The one where you're on like a tour bus.
Backlot tour. Well, we
the
can't
backlot
count
tour.
that.
I know. I'm just
We'll
throwing
have
there.
an episode dedicated to Lost Disney rides.
My
That'd be cool,
least
yeah.
favorite. What was your least favorite?
No, we
didn't
didn't
do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then you do your three.
my
You do your three. Go ahead.
Wait, so are you saying that's your third one?
My third one was
Is Rise of the Resistance?
I actually listed 4 because I listed Beauty and the Beast.
You said you were thinking about Beauty and the Beast.
Whatever. There's
Whatever,
enough.
it
Go
doesn't
ahead.
matter.
I'll have to go with Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, it's actually interesting that we're having this conversation because I feel like maybe I'm changing my mind now. On my list, I have Beauty and the Beast live on stage because it's a short 13-minute show and it's
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Stop
right,
it.
right. It's a 20-some
I'm
minute that they
actually-
split into
okay.
13 minutes.
I
As you
had-
talk, I'm going to look it up.
Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
I had so my second one I had was Toy Story Mania, and I feel like I'm partly biased because I worked there.
No,
and so
that's a good
that has
ride.
a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like at least an honorable mention for Rise of the Resistance. For the record, I haven't even seen the Star Wars movies. I know what you're talking about with like the sequels being, divisive and all that. And I totally get that. But when you look at the actual details of the queue and how you're in the shuttle and then you
agree.
come into that room, I don't even know what Star Wars is. And I'm like, this is really cool.
It's good theming. It's good
and
theming.
like the actual ride vehicle that you're in, how it moves with the magnets on the floors. So it's not like the set. Like it's just really cool.
Yeah, it's hard not to include that.
So it has to, I'm at least going to give that an honorable mention, even if we're not going to have it on there. Okay? And then my number one is Rock and Roller Coaster, obviously.
Right.
So wait a minute. So you didn't put Tower of Terror.
No, she doesn't
and
like Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror, like as a ride, if you guys wanted to put that in the top 5, I would be okay with that. Because I agree, like the theming is so good, but just because I personally don't like riding it, I can't put that in my top 3, but I would be fine putting it in the top 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, least favorite is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yes, I'm just going to say same.
I think a lot of it stems from the fact that the Great Movie Ride was fantastic, and I'm
It's
annoyed
so
that it replaced that. But I also, because you and I just rode that, like what, last month, or it was recently, because I hadn't ridden it basically since it opened.
A month and a half ago, something like that.
And I was like, maybe I was just bitter the first time I rode it, and I just need to give it another chance. And you don't need to give it another chance. I'm annoyed because it's mostly screens, so it's like you don't even get, like I was saying about earlier, you don't even get like a real experience of anything. It's just like all screens pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
And like the story itself is kind of okay, but it's also all over the place, and that's how the new Mickey shorts are. So I guess if you look at it like that, then it's true to those. But just I can't get past like what it replaced, which was one of the best rides in my opinion.
And that's
so
why
like,
I said when I like putting the quote unquote least favorite, this is my prototypical least favorite. I hate this ride because of what it has done. Like the Great Movie Ride was such a cool ride, a one-of-a-kind ride.
This is what Disney's has done, though. That's what's frustrating. And the thing is, I don't hate it quite as much as you guys hate it. I don't think it's on its own. I don't think it would have been a terrible ride, but it's more of like your typical kids ride to me because it's not, there's a lot of screens and all. It's not anything exceptional. And the fact that it replaced the Great Movie Ride is such an insult.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I just want to say a couple of things. One is I hate the whole design of these, the modern, like Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, everybody. They look so dumb to me and they act so dumb. It is so.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah, it's just.
See, that doesn't bother me.
Just the essence of it.
Yeah.
Is so not
but
what
if you
Walt Disney had in those characters.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch and if you watch on the Disney Channel.
I don't have any
newer
interest.
Disney because I think they're funny. Some of the newer cartoons.
Yeah, but like King of the
so
Hill's
that's why
funny,
it doesn't
but
bother
it's not
me.
Disney.
Well,
like,
I agree. I think
so it needs its own theme park.
If you just look at the newer cartoons by themselves and you remove them from like being part of Disney and all of that, they can be funny enough like on their own. But I I agree with you. I don't know what it is that it just feels like such a slap in the face to the original Mickey Mouse and his friends and stuff. It just doesn't feel like them, and it just feels like disrespectful in some way.
It really actually bothers me.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was gonna say, now you said about Rise of the Resistance and also like the Remy ride or the Ratatouille ride is this way with like kind of, it's just the smooth floor and you're just kind of, your vehicle's just kind of going over with the magnets and stuff like you were saying. I actually really don't like that. Like it makes for a nice smooth ride and it's kind of cool. It's a little more modern, whatever. But like, that's one of the things that I don't like about any of those rides. Like as I bring up all of those rides, Ratatouille, Minnie and Mickey, Rise of the Resistance, like something like the Great Movie Ride, it felt so filled in and like detailed and like complex and like you couldn't even look down and see what was happening under the car. Like you're really just engrossed in this. But like the Minnie and Mickey ride, say in particular, you're just like, I'm just in an open room
so much
with like a
space.
gymnasium floor, basically, that we're just sliding over.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with that. I think for Rise of the Resistance, for me, it feels different because it's like, okay, you think if you were actually on, like in that situation on the ship, you don't know where you're going next. You don't know what's happening. And so it's nice that you don't have a track.
Well,
because
and even
then
for
you
Star
don't know.
Wars, like, a track doesn't really.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for that, I'm not mad about it. But in general, I agree that I don't like those kinds of
I hate
rides.
the part at the end of that, the Mickey and Minnie's, what is it again?
Runaway Railroad.
Runaway Railroad. The end where they're in the dance class, where like Minnie's in the dance class.
Like Daisy.
I always say Minnie. Yeah, Daisy. And it's like, you're talking about, it's like you're just in a big room.
Yeah.
All the cards are and you're going back and forth.
Room.
And it's like, this is so stupid.
So dumb, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Because the only other one that I was attraction to Hollywood Studios, I was going to say like the Mickey Shorts thing, the not vacation time, whatever plays in that theater, the Mickey Shorts theater.
Yeah.
Is because it's like the same thing. It's just a newer Mickey cartoon pretty much that plays in there. And so I was going to say that as my least favorite. But then just because this replaced the Great Movie Ride.
Yeah.
That's why I chose this over that.
And just as like to top it all off, the thing that's so annoying about all this is it literally must have cost them so much money to convert
and for
this.
What?
Exactly. Like if it was like, we're trying to save money, this is going to save us millions of dollars. So even though we know it's a beloved ride,
yes.
we're going to put this money somewhere else. It's like, no, you literally spent so much money.
Yeah.
And what percentage of people prefer this?
It's like they worried about because they had to have obviously more cast members involved in the old ride.
But still, how long would it take for that to?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it makes you wonder how much of the I don't know, this new ride, how much is because they didn't have good Imagineers anymore and they just don't have good ideas, and how much is because basically the top corporate officials are saying, nope, we can't spend that much money.
Maybe.
This is all you got. You got to do something with this.
But then why even transition it from the Great Movie Ride?
Well, because they're going to save money because they don't need all those cast members.
Yeah,
we can have one cast member.
It must have cost way more money to convert
to redo it, but it's a one-time
I don't think that's why.
I don't know.
Whatever. I mean, it's all.
I just think they're not very good.
Yeah.
I just think they're not good.
You also have to think about there are people that will ride that have never ridden the Great Movie Ride, so they don't even know what they're missing.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just riding that, and they think that's cool for what it is, and it's like we obviously don't feel that way.
Right.
But even then, it's still like if I went to studios for the first time right now, like I would still like Tower of Terror better, Rock and Roller Coaster.
I agree.
Like the shows.
I agree.
So.
All right. Well, we are going to have to finish this next episode. Eric, will you come back with us?
We're cutting it off here?
We're going to cut it off
Animal
here.
Kingdom.
I know. That's how we're going to
Okay, good.
start
I'm fine
the
with
next
that.
episode,
This is getting too long.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up here.
I figured we go 2 and 2 and just edit it.
Nope, we're going to wrap it up here. And because we still have to do the overall rankings and all that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we get
need the
tired
people need to come
after
back.
talking.
And hungry.
But
once
Eric,
we get over
you're
half an hour.
You're going to come back for
I will
the
come
second
back
half
after dinner.
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
Okay.
All right, we will see you all on Friday.
In a few minutes on Friday.
We'll see you all on Friday. We hope you all have a great week. Goodbye.
Okay.
Obviously, we want to know your inputs too. So let us know what you feel about this.
We
Go
don't
ahead.
care. I would like to hear people's
Since our number one fan is here and can't give us his opinions.
Yeah. How can people leave their comments?
I don't know. Go ahead. We don't have time for all this. I'll tell you next episode. Come back Friday. Are you recording? No.
Hello.
That's not what I'm saying.
Hello.
You guys need to leave that there.
Hello. I can't.
And lean into it as you're ready to speak. If you need to turn that microphone up, maybe that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? The actual knob.
Eric was pretty loud. Like right now, obviously, I'm facing the other way, so I can't look and also.
Well, look.
Yeah, maybe it headphones on here would add it now.
Oh, there you go.
It's perfect. Just don't bump it.
10. I'm literally not going to move.
Level is.
See here, yeah. But if you look, if I'm talking here, right, or you see how much quieter it is, so it's pretty directional. So the point is, you have to be in front of it when you're talking.
But what I'm saying is, how bad is it? So let's pause it. Listen to that. See, as you guys are talking where you're at right now, how bad it's.
All right, we'll try it.
But also, maybe you should turn up your mic. Is what I'm saying.
We could do it a little bit, or I could just try the internal mic because I think we might get. Which one's the volume?
The top one.
We might get better results with the internal mic. Okay, that if we do it like that.
You just muted it.
I'm not getting anything. No, you see how quiet it is.
Yeah.
It's now
compared to mine. Mine's really loud.
You're definitely louder. Not.
All right, let's pause it.
Adjust it after the fact.
Let's pause it and just listen to it.
I know, but okay, let's stop it and listen to this.
Okay.